So it's all about combining the sweet melody from the instruments with the lyrics. So while we grooving, we taking our nice, we are absorbing some message and the melody within ourselves. So at the end of the day, it's food for thought.
Grooveaholics, welcome to the Rochester Groovecast podcast. Birthed by a love of music, we're all about culture. Don't forget to subscribe. And remember the fee. If you gain value from this podcast, personally share it with a friend and explain your favorite part. Let's get groovy.
Welcome, everyone, to the Rochester Groovecast podcast, your top source for live, local, regional music, interviews, and events from Rochester, New York, and the surrounding region. I am your host, Ben Albert, and I am here with three of the members of Mosaic Foundation. What's up, guys? How are we doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
We've got Mike, we've got Ken, we've got Cha-Cha. A lot of people might be listening to the podcast version. If you're watching on the live stream, you're even cooler. If you're listening to the podcast, check out Rochester Groovecast on Facebook. You can see all the live streams. But for the listeners that just have the audio, do you guys want to one by one sort of just introduce yourself and explain what you do in the band?
My name is Yao Foley. I'm from Ghana, also known as Cha-Cha. I'm the singer and the percussionist. I'm also the founder of the Eco Village.
Yeah. I'm Michael Corey, and I do mostly guitar and some keys. I guess I'm from Rochester now. I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I've lived in Rochester long enough that I call it home. So, that's where I'm at.
I'm Ken Luke. I am from Hong Kong. I play guitar, like Mike, a little bit of keyboard for the band. And what Mike and Cha-Cha, they haven't mentioned, they write a lot of songs and lyrics for the band. I think that's important to mention.
And I'm happy to have you guys here. Just for shout outs, who are we missing today?
Yeah, well, we're missing Aaron on bass, JP on drums, missing Lucius on keys, Anthony, who's been playing sax, and then Zach, our man on sound. We always shout him out as well because he's always got a sounding crisp in the speakers coming out.
Love it. Love it. Now that we've got the introductions done, let's actually get into the good stuff because I'm excited. Literally 5 minutes ago, before we clicked record, I just got the album. The listeners that are listening to this live, this actually isn't going to be released until the morning, so it's coming out tomorrow. If you're listening a week later, it's available now. But you guys have a brand new dub album. Ultimately, it's a take on your previous album, right? Do you want to introduce this new dub album that's coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, this dub album is every reggae band, classic reggae band that we know, they always have alternate versions, instrumental versions, or like a remix or whatever you call it. So of course we want to have our own dub album. We have been talking about doing one with our previous albums, but it's been slow coming. So actually I spent some time working with Matt Rammerman at the Green Room, and it's just him and I mostly working together, try to make instrumental versions of the songs we have. And especially this, of course, I want to say all our albums are great, but as the band is growing over the years, I think, our strongest album is this one, Unity is Strength. And I always wanted to, make instrumental version. And we have Cha-Cha with amazing vocalists, but sometimes I think, if I listen to the songs, there are a lot of nice instrumental parts that are left out. just we just have to make decisions to cut some of the parts out. So so this is the product. Is you are gonna hear a lot of the missing instrumental licks. And mostly drum and bass, of course.
Unity is strength, dub. I want to dive in, and we're going to listen to 2 tracks today. No one has heard these yet, so I haven't heard them yet, and I'm here with you guys, so we're all going to hear this for the first time. I'm beyond excited. We'll start with Love for All. I do want to talk about it afterwards, but anything you want to add? Anything that I should be like listening for on this first listen? Anything to preface this party here?
Yeah. A lot of older reggae songs have flutes, so this is our version of a song having flutes. So you'll hear it, you won't miss it. You will love it.
Makes me want to be. I'm sitting here, this is a green screen. It's not actually my office, but I'm sitting here. I feel like I should be up and dancing. I should be in the outdoors.
Yeah, so I think that one's got a very festive feel, I think, which I mean, we have some songs that feel like that, but I mean, compared to most, that's a much more get up and dance and get up and kind of move around type of song. So that's definitely a fun one. I think letting that, I mean, the flute shine a bit and the horns and just to chime in, I mean, that on flute, that was Craig Abraham, who I know plays in groups around town. And then we also had Angel Lopez and Malcolm Williamson on horns. So having the horns and the flute in there on those songs really kind of gives it that jovial type feel coming in there.
Yeah. Well,
And
what? Go ahead,
just to
Chacha.
yeah, just to add to what Mike just said about the feeling, the energy within the instrumentations, and then when you listen to the words, we don't see people as they are. We see them as we are. The love you give is the love you receive. So it's all about combining the sweet melody from the instruments with the lyrics. So while we grooving, we taking our nice, we are absorbing some message and the melody within ourselves. So at the end of the day, it's food for thought.
Yeah, it's more than just let's dance and enjoy ourselves. It's food for thought as well.
Exactly.
Chacha, tell us what you've been up to with the Eco Village project. I heard you've been up to some brand new things here.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, again, I would like to use this opportunity to thank all general supporters and sponsors, Rochester and all over, and not forgetting our favorite Flower City station where we used to perform as well. It's all about promoting rural education and sustainable agriculture. So after I got involved with the ICBOs, ICBO stands for Independent Community-Based Organization. It's a non-for-profit organization made up with 15 non-for-profit organizations in the USA coming together to represent vulnerable communities that have been excluded in research projects. So we are in collaboration with Cornell Lab of Ornithology, conducting a noise pollution project. So this gave me an opportunity to get into doing community-led research based on equity, diversity, and inclusion. So these are some of the new projects and an idea I'm taking back. I've already taken back home. Last year, I've been working on noise pollution, focused on the corn mill machine within my community. And then like the main finding is to how can we integrate our community values, cultural and norm into science if we want to see more just and equitable solution and policy change. So it involves a lot of interviewing our community members about our issues, a lot of survey works. And one thing I've noticed that our culture plays a lot of value in our daily life. And then if we are able to merge our values, community culture with science, we can have community development to prevent reluctancy. For example, like talking about COVID. Some communities believe in wearing masks. Some communities don't believe in wearing masks. So it is up to us as a community to ask ourselves, not anybody to push it on us. Okay, why are people dying? These are some of the within ourselves. Okay, if we don't know, what can we do to protect ourselves? We cannot just say, no, there is no COVID. That is a community way of stepping into science and helping scientific institutions to combat epidemic or whatever it is. So that's what we've been working, Ndo has been working on also water quality project in collaboration with NYU students. So some of the students are in collaboration with us. We are designing a program to get, like, it's community-led, whereby the students from NYU will come to Hohwe and then work with our communities. We will do water testing by ourselves, try to create our own water filtration, understand, like try to find why is the water not safe? What are we looking for? And generating this question within ourselves is a step towards finding solution to pollution. And then the last research project is about bringing back the birds. It's also based on storytelling, trying to make songs about birds, poems about community conversation, conservation. triple C. So we think about birds that I've seen when I was young. I don't see them today. So let's have a story. Let's have a conversation about why are the birds gone? Maybe we should not be cutting down trees, or what else can we do? So it's creating awareness. And then music is the background. And with the Spice Unite, this is a great opportunity. And also to my community back home in Ghana, they can grow crops that will be purchased by Spice Unite company. They'll pay them very well, and then even pay the local farmers ahead before growing. I think this is new in my community. I'm glad we are bringing it. And then also to promote growing food organically. Yes, when you grow it well, it will be bought. And then by the same time, we are serving the earth. So it just ways and means to bring back the roots, growing food healthy and then naturally. So that is what we've been working on. So we did our cook show on the 19th. We had our first jollof spice, one of Ghana's delicious rice. I have to make one for you when I'm in Rochester.
Yeah.
You got to hold me on for that. Yeah, so we did the cooking, and it went well, and then the proceeds goes towards our project in Ghana, supporting the local farmers as well, and then creating awareness. Mike was with me last year in Ghana to see the project himself. Mosaic Foundation be one of the backbone, supporting, doing fundraisers. So thank you.
Yeah, I want to personally thank you, and thank you guys on behalf of everyone listening. You know, music was, in a sense, put on a halt during COVID for some time, but these issues with raising awareness and building community and creating this change, the issue didn't go anywhere. The ability to play music live to, educate people in that way was put on hold. But it sounds like you in particular, especially Chacha, you've been plenty busy on still creating that change. Let me ask you, this might be a silly question, but did the music come first, or did this want to create change come first? Obviously, music is a incredible medium to create this change and create this awareness. What were you a musician from the first? Were you an activist from the first, or is it a dumb question because they just have always went hand in hand?
You'll never know until you find yourself in the track. Yeah, that is what I will say. And then when you are called, you are called. It's a dedication. You don't think about anything apart from that. That's what I would say.
I think, Chacha, I mean, you were just talking recently when you were doing actually that cooking tutorial, and you said that before you were 10, that you wanted to help with farming and you wanted to help with, your father with growing the food, but also you were playing music before you were 10 too. So maybe the answer to that question is really the same time. It was you who knows which one came first. It was so early.
It sounds like it's ingrained within you. It's just a part of you, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Mike, for that reminder. I just tried a simple way, but I'll break it down. So when I was young, I remembered my grandma. In my grandmother's house, that's the house used by the EP Church, Evangelical Presbyterian Church in my community. They use my grandma's house for gathering, choir practice, and all those sort of work. And then apart from that, my grandmother herself, she will be singing, but not just singing, just dancing, creating styles while people are just seriously singing and marching. So her nickname was Achan. I chant in Eweming style. Because when she is singing, she will be dancing. So that was something we all knew grandma for. And grandma was a farmer, great rice farmer, peanuts farmer. We call it granite. And then also my uncles, both of my uncles were promoters, and then there were DJs. So when I was young, I used to see dreadlocks, like in the 80s, coming to eat in my grandma's house, because that's where the bandmen will stay, take shower, eat before they go and then do their performance. So music was in the family when I was growing, and my dad sings all the time, and he whistles all the time. I work with him when we take care of the animals, when we do farming work, and most of his songs, and then he always speaks to me in parables. So that is where that line comes from. And then growing up, it came back. That's how. Yeah, that is why I said, like, you find yourself when you are in the track.
It came back, you found yourself.
You just can't stop thinking about it. You just can't stop. Yeah.
What about you guys, Michael, Ken? Has music always been a part of your life? What got you guys started in music? Because there's something to say. I mean, you guys are very dedicated musicians, just in the fact Mosaic Foundation's been you guys have all been part of the core group for over 10 years, right? Has music always been a part of your life?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I can say that, I mean, from a young age, I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 11 or 12, I guess. So at a pretty young age. And I mean, for me, my influence was, I mean, my father played guitar as well, and he actually played in groups when he was living in Jamaica, where he met my mother. So I remember having like old cassette tapes of him playing down in Jamaica. And I always remember that I was riding one of my friend's cars. My buddy had this old Mercury Cougar, this big gigantic boat. It had a tape deck, and we were listening to the tape, and it whirred around, and it messed up the tape I had of my dad playing. I always felt so terrible. But I mean, listening to those things and kind of hearing that influence, I've actually really, I mean, I got just so many ideas and so much inspiration from kind of hearing that type of music and just the stuff he would play around the house. I mean, not just reggae, but I mean, blues, rock, and soul music. I mean, it's definitely a lot of it came from him. And yeah, he got me started just teaching me a bit, and then I kind of picked it up from there. And so yeah, I would say a pretty young age where I had my influence and kind of the desire to kind of just make music and be creative with it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, what about you, Ken? It's your turn as well. And then I want to listen to another track because I'm excited for this album coming out. But Ken, where'd you get your start with music?
I will keep it short because it's a long story. But I moved to Rochester to study music. I went to school to study classical guitar, but it's guitar. So of course, before I devoted myself going to school to study classical, I was playing rock and pop and all that. And honestly, was not playing reggae. In fact, I joined the band because someone posted a flyer in my school, and I actually called them up. I didn't have a lot of experience playing in a band, so I asked, "Hey, can I just come? I want to see how a reggae band works. I love reggae. Never played in a reggae band before, though." They said, "Well, can you play some rhythm guitar?" Yeah, okay, you're in the band. So yeah, that's how I joined these guys. And it's I don't write words, so I mostly write music. But there are songs that I have brought to band rehearsals, and Mike and Cha Cha, they have both added words. It's like, oh, they listen to it, makes them think of something, and then they add the words. Yeah, I'm lucky to have these two to help me what's the word, like add some words to my music.
Collaboration, like Chacha was saying, community, collaboration. We're all good at different things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Door of No Return. Well, what should we know about this track? Again, I haven't heard it yet. Most of the people at home haven't heard it yet either. It's about the full album's about to go digital. It's about to go live tomorrow. If you're hearing this when it's recorded. Again, if you're hearing this anytime after May 7th, you can go and buy the album right now, right? But if you're watching this live, it's about to go live in the morning. And Door of No Return is the second track we're going to listen to. So what should we know about this track? What should I expect here?
Yeah,
I mean, Chacha, you can best explain this.
Yeah, Door of No Return is about the slavery history that began from Ghana, talking about the slave headquarters, the transatlantic slave trade headquarters is in Ghana, Cape Coast. So being there myself, reading about slave trade, while I was living in Ghana, but I've never been to the castle before. But there was a time I decided to visit that place. And wow. So, and then before the sleep will be taken away, the dungeon is right down here. They have like a chapel up front it, and then there's an underground tunnel, and then the ship will be waiting outside. So there's a huge door written on top of it, Door of No Return. So that means that door, when you walk through the side, there's a journey to the coast. We never come back to our homeland. Journey to the coast. We never come back to our homeland. Mm-hmm. So that is about the history, the agony, the pain on the road to wherever our ancestors, the generation, things that is happening today. So that is a deep one on that album, just for us to remember where we are from and then where we are heading as a human race. What should we do to make it better? Rereading our own history. What should we do to make it better for the next generation? So that is about Door of No Return. Like, how can we sing the song of Zion in a strange land where there is no justice for us? So what can we do to make it better? And then again, it's just a sign to remember all of us that we are all a man on planet Earth. All we got to do is love and help and respect one another, and we can make it better.
Love, help, and respect. Well, what a great reminder that if you're listening to this, guys, you shouldn't just listen to the dub album. You should do the back-to-back. You should listen to the full-length original, then listen to Unity is Strength, then listen to Unity is Strength dub. If you're like me, you like the dub instrumentals, but truly so much passion and meaning behind the lyrics in all these songs as well. Anything, I say we listen to it and then we talk more in a moment here. Let's put on Door to No Return.
You're listening to the Rochester Groovecast podcast. Head over to Facebook, like Rochester Groovecast, and mark our page as See First to keep in touch with everything new. Now, back to the show.
Nice. Mosaic Foundation, Door of No Return. I'm excited to listen to the whole shabam. This album's fixing to be pretty incredible, it seems like, right? Any general comments, whether it's on that song or the album itself? Obviously, it's about to be for sale. It's about to be ready for digital release. What should I expect out of it? Is there a little bit of everything, different instrumentation? Anything else I should know about the album?
I want to add just a little bit about that track, because that track actually style wise, I think it's a little different from everything else we do. It's more like our imitation of mixing in some hip hop, and we actually had a M. Coupe rapping on this track. So this is like our only song that has some rap in it. So yeah, that's I think that's quite special. But that song also is like when we put the music together as my chance to use a really old 1979-ish Korg synthesizer. So you hear all those synths and there is just the same synths put in a lot of different effects and playing around with that synth. So I thought that song was really special and in our catalog in that way. But in terms of the whole album,
I do like that hip hop vibe too, just to say that.
Yeah. And then in terms of the whole album, some of the tracks we have added a melodica line, because that's a kind of like a big part of doing, a big homage to Augustus Pablo, doing instrumental versions with the melodica as a lead line. So we have a couple of tracks added that. There are one or two tracks that I actually use a guitar as a lead line. And and just if you know the Unity is Strength album, it's really a chance to listen to all the instrumental parts, the cool little licks that you might not pay attention to, because the words, the message of the album is so strong. And so this one is like on a scale of the same album. One side is all the message, one side is all the music, so you get the two extremes.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I think one thing that's really cool is, especially after listening to Cha-Cha just explain kind of the details and like the weight of that song, hearing the music and kind of imagining just the imagery and kind of the message that he's talking about, kind of in your head going along with just the music, and as you say, kind of the idea of listening to the version that has the lyrics and the version that has the message, and then kind of taking it with the music is a cool experience. And it made me laugh a little, because I know one thing with writing that I like to do is write either happier lyrics over kind of minor, more sad type music, and then vice versa. Like I'll write, something kind of sad, but the music sounds happy. But I don't think I did anything on this album with that. So it's not these contrasting things in your head. So most of the time, with the first one you play, it has this jovial feel, and it's a very uplifting song with the lyrics or without the lyrics. And I think the same thing happens with that one that we just listened to, Door of No Return. Kind of the music really holds the weight of the words that Cha-Cha sings, whether they're there or if they're kind of got an instrumental track going.
Yeah, it's a special reason to listen to the two back to back. I want to listen to the dub versions, but I think I'm going to just skip to and from the two albums so I can listen to the original, listen to the dub, listen to the original, do it that way. Probably actually listen straight through to the dub, but I wanna have that thought experiment where I rotate between the two as well. What else is new, guys? I saw you were collaborating with Lee Scratch Perry. Is that true? Tell us about that new track.
Yeah, I can talk to that. Yeah, that was a track that we put out just this past year, and it was an amazing opportunity to connect with, Lee Scratch Perry is kind of one of the top dogs in reggae, and that was, I mean, a lot of work was put in by our bass player Aaron. And he started up his studio down in Naples, and just he went, through the work of connecting with him and trying to get in touch and trying to get him on this track, and ended up coming out really cool. Of just, I think some of it was, it's a pandemic and trying to figure out ways to, as Chacha says, co-create, collaborate with people, and it's just an opportunity that kind of popped up, and it's kind of crazy how things work like that, but it was a really cool opportunity to do.
Yeah, for whatever reason, if someone hasn't heard your music before today and they're like, oh my gosh, I should have known this band 10 years ago, how do they keep in touch? Should they follow you on Facebook, website? What's the best way to follow you guys and hopefully see you live soon as well? What's the best way to follow up?
Yeah, I could say that there's Instagram is probably the quickest and easiest way, most accessible. So that's just going to be Mosaic Foundation Music on Instagram. You can also check out mosaicfoundationmusic.com. That's our website. We're on Facebook, on YouTube, so all the usual platforms. We love people just reaching out. We've had some people during the pandemic just saying, hey, like, miss you guys. When are you guys going to be doing shows again? That's our favorite, so don't be shy. Let us know. We do have some shows later in the summer. We'll be at the Great Blue Heron at the end of August. That's one thing that we got coming up. A couple more in the books. Maybe we can't take the wraps off just yet, but
Ooh.
We will be. It'll be good to get back on stage and just see people and experience that again.
Yeah, it sounds like follow these guys on Instagram, shoot them a DM, let them know that they're appreciated. Obviously, the show notes, I'll have links to follow up. Unless you're watching this live, like the live stream, the album is out. The dub version is out, so go check that out. That's in the show notes as well. Anything we missed? Any final news? Any last words, parting words for the evening?
For the last word from my side, I would just like to thank all our fans. I also like to thank you, Ben, for having our voice heard again. And to one and all, I will say we should not stop positive thinking, and then keeping on our positive attitude, because with that we shall overcome for sure. So let's keep that positive thinking and positive attitude up, no matter what.
Positive thinking, positive attitude. We shall overcome. I say we ended at that. You guys are incredible. We're going to do a part 2 eventually. Honestly, we should do like a 5-part series because I'm sure we could talk for days. But this has been tremendously fun. I look forward to listening to both albums back to back. And also, turning on that Lee Scratch track. So thanks again for coming on the show, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us here.
It means a lot.
Thanks for listening to the Rochester Groovecast podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and remember the fee. Share this with a friend and tell them exactly why they should listen. And don't forget to keep it groovy, baby.